Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today we're going to do a full face of Haus Labs, or at least a full face of all of the products that Haus Labs has available. And hopefully that sounds fun to you guys. If it does, go ahead and do the YouTubey things, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's get into it. I recently picked up one of the holiday palettes from the Haus Labs holiday release. You guys said you wanted to see this palette in action. So I do have a review up and in-depth swatches and stuff with this palette already on my channel. I'll try and remember to link that down below. But you know, since she's brought out the concealer and all that, I have almost a full face of Haus Labs. I think the only thing I don't have is like maybe brows and mascara and like the little things like that. And I know she does have a brow pencil, but I have so many brow pencils right now, I can't justify it. Anyway, so we're gonna do a full face. Now the first product I actually am gonna use is the Haus Labs lip oil. I just have the clear one. Oh my gosh, the amount of times my camera just never focuses. Yes, there we go. I just have the clear one, and I talked about this in my speed reviews recently, and it's okay. It's not my favorite lip oil. It's not the most like hydrating. It's a little bit thicker of a formula. It's not bad by any means, but I wouldn't repurchase this personally. We're going to do eyes first, and we're going to use this palette, and I'm going to try and incorporate, well, I will incorporate this shade today because I did not do that in my review. I used the other shades. For eye primer, I'm going to use the Viseart eye primer because Haus Labs does not have one yet. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys have tried Haus Labs, if it's a brand you're looking to try or it's not for you. I obviously really I mean, who doesn't love Lady Gaga, right? I've actually seen her in concert twice or three times. She's amazing. She's incredible. I really, really respect Lady Gaga. But her initial brand wasn't really for me, the Amazon one, but this new one, I really, really like the products she's released. Like a few of her products are like holy grails for me, or like really up there in my collection. And then there is a couple that I'm like, oh, they're just good. You know, they're not bad, but they're good. Kind of like the lip oil. It's not like exceptional in my point of view, but it's good, you know? Also, just keep in mind, like, all totally my opinion, like, you might have your own opinion, you know, skin's gonna be different, preferences are gonna be different, take it with a grain of salt, you know? The first shade I'm gonna dip into is this purple one right here with a Refa 33. And I feel like I'm the only person that likes this palette. Everyone that I've been seeing is like really dislikes this. Like Morgan is like, this is the worst palette ever. Even Teresa Is Dead didn't like it. I really like it, but do you know what I think is different? Is I went into this as soon as I felt that, and I'm not saying that they didn't, this is just how I went into it, and maybe it's the difference as to why I like it. As soon as I felt the texture of these shadows, I immediately thought of like Clé de Peau, Tom Ford, that kind of a thing. And when you think of those kinds of luxury formulas, immediately my mind goes a lot softer of a pigment, like a soft wash of color, really good for people that don't want intensely pigmented mattes as well. Like, you know, maybe Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath mattes are a bit too much for you. You just want something that's a bit softer on the lids. Mature skin friendly, like these will be great on mature skin. Probably not this palette anyway, probably not deeper skin tone friendly, I don't think. At least these two. But in terms of, I'm just gonna actually press this all over the lid. In terms of the actual formula, I love it, but again, I went into this expecting it to perform like a Tom Ford, like a Clé de Peau kind of matte, and so it met my expectations perfectly. Even like the new YSL formulas, that's what it reminds me of. But if you go into this palette, I guess, expecting it to perform like, you know, intensely pigmented like a Natasha Denona matte, you won't like it. Like, you'll be like, where is the pigment? So I guess that's the difference. But yeah, I mean, everyone else has been hating it. I've been loving it. I mean, look, it's just really easy and fuss-free. I just want to show you guys for fun. I've got all my eye brushes now organized by brand. So it's like Delium Tools, Refa, What's Up and Sonia G, BK, and then miscellaneous. And I'm so impressed with myself. You guys don't care about that, but I just thought I'd share. Now I'm gonna take a Refa 14 and go into this beautiful dark brown, or almost like, it's like a charcoal. Tap this on the outer corner here. Like, you might be expecting this to be a lot more pigmented, but for me it's like perfectly pigmented. I tend to go, like, if the shadow's too dark like this, I can go a little bit overboard, and I don't necessarily want that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's different with me and everyone else, but I feel like I'm very much the only person that's been enjoying this palette. But let me know if you have it and what you think. And I think people are thrown off by the price. I mean, it is expensive. I'm not gonna tell you it's not expensive. It is freaking expensive. Only you can decide that for yourself. That's nothing I can really comment on, because for some of you it's fine, for some of you it's ludicrous. You know, everyone's value of a dollar is very different, you know. For me, it was ludicrous. Like, it was only because you guys did want to see it that I was like, okay, yeah, I'll try it. But it was expensive. But I don't, like, now that I have it, I don't regret it at all. It's very pretty. But, you know, again, if you go into this expecting, like, Natasha Denona mattes, and then you think of the price, you're like, that's ludicrous. But for me, I actually will get a lot of use out of this because of the matte formula in particular. I think metallics are stunning, by the way, and I feel like most people can agree the metallics are stunning, but again, maybe I'm wrong about that too. Okay, I'm gonna take my Pat McGrath Labs Intensify stick, and I'm gonna run this 3/4 over the lid. Also, you could actually just, if you wanted to, not even like do a metallic, and you could even just take a little bit of this shade right now and put that where I'm gonna put my metallic down, and it would be such a lovely all matte look. Like, yeah, I don't know. You guys, am I the only one that likes this? Do any of you have it, and do you like it? I'm gonna pick up a What's Up Beauty R110 and go into this gorgeous color here. What does she call it? She calls it Fuchsia Chrome. Yeah, Fuchsia Chrome. That's probably a good word for it. And when I wore this the other day, I actually wore it into the office and it did not crease. My shadow lasted all day. It was really nice. Okay, so I'm actually just gonna tuck this on like a diagonal in this outer portion here and marry it up in there. Oh, that's so pretty, that shade. Look at it. Wow. Oh, I like that. That is a very pretty shade. I'm gonna pick up this Rougher 28 and I'm gonna go into this I don't know why I'm holding up here, this gorgeous green shade right here. I wanna tuck it right in here. Okay, that's beautiful. Oh, I love this shade so much. This is definitely my favorite shade in the palette. Then this one, and then the fuchsia last. But I mean, they're all really pretty. I really like them. Oh my gosh, I love these. I'm just going back into that fuchsia shade with that What's Up, and I'll just marry this a little bit more. There we go. Let's leave this here now and move on to the face. Haus Labs does not have a face primer from my knowledge, so I'm going to take my Milk Hydro Grip and I'll just tell you what I'm using but speed through the steps when it's not a Haus Labs product. Also, I forgot to say, everything will be linked in the description box down below for you guys. They are affiliate links, so if you shop through them, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. So anything that's Haus Labs will be linked at the top, and then everything else that I use will be underneath. I'm going to take my Natasha Denona color corrector. And then my skin isn't looking too red on camera. Oh, that is so much. I'm taking the Tarte green corrector, by the way, and my skin doesn't look red on camera. It never does, but it actually is in real life, I promise. This is a Rare Beauty foundation brush, by the way. For foundation, we have the Haus Labs Triclone foundation. I have the shade 110 Light Neutral. The shade range, while expansive, is a little tricky. So if you do have the luxury of seeing it in store, then I do recommend, you know, doing that so you can get the right shade. I'm just going to take it on my Real Technique sponge. I like to apply it with the sponge best for me. But you can also on the website, if you are somewhere like live somewhere like me where it's not in store anywhere, you can go on the website and buy a tester kit of 3 different shades. And if you buy a full-size foundation off the website within like a certain amount of days from that tester kit, you don't actually pay for the tester kit, you just pay for the full-size foundation. And then I don't actually know how much the tester kit is if you decide not to pick up the foundation in the end. So, you know, if you were doing like say a Haus Labs order or something and you were like, oh, I'll just get you know, if you were intrigued about the foundation and weren't sure about your shade, you could do something like that, just in for oily. I'm usually always a light neutral shade in foundations, and I can usually figure out a way to make it work for me, even if it's slightly not right, but this one actually is a really nice shade match for me. Now, in terms of the actual foundation, it is a hydrating foundation. I think if you have oily skin, I do not think that you would like this. I have combination sensitive skin, for those of you that are new here. So me friendly in terms of ingredients, and I have combination skin. So while this is, like, it can get oily, I do find that in the wintertime, this foundation is really nice for me when my skin's on the more drier side. In summertime, I don't tend to wear this foundation as much. And if I do, I really heavily set my T-zone, and as long as I do that, it's fine. But I do really enjoy this foundation. Now, I wouldn't say it is like a holy grail foundation in my collection, but I really like it. I really enjoy having it in my collection. I enjoy using it. I think it looks really lovely on the skin. It's not, oh, how do I say this? It's not smoothing, but it's not texturizing at the same time. I just make sure that I use my Tarte Pore Smoothing Primer on it, although today I didn't do that. And, you know, it'll smooth it all out. And I just try to be mindful to not put too much foundation in this area in particular, because if I do, my smile lines can kind of peek through a bit, but you know, it's nothing horrific. I've had far worse. And yeah, it wears really lovely, and it does feel like skin. It feels very lightweight on the face. I don't know, I actually quite enjoy it. I think if you do have dry skin, dry mature skin, or just dry skin in general, I do think you'll probably really enjoy this foundation. I'm just putting some of my NARS under eye brightener on before I go in with the Haus Labs concealer, because the Haus Labs concealer is a little bit dark of a shade, so this is just gonna brighten my under eyes a little bit and just make it match a bit more. I tried to pick up a lighter shade of concealer when I picked up the holiday palette, but unfortunately the shade that I needed was sold out. This is the Haus Labs concealer, the Triclone concealer. I got the shade 11 Light Neutral. This is the doe foot applicator right here. I actually don't like this doe foot applicator because it gets stuck. I don't know if anyone else has found this. It kind of gets stuck and feels like it's going to break off in here. Very small complaint. The actual doe foot is fine. It's just getting it back in the hole. That's what she said. If you use me as a shade reference, I would shade way down, because as you can see, this is just, it's too deep for my under eyes on its own. I personally find I usually need to mix a deeper shade like this with a lighter shade to kind of get my perfect shape, because of the undertone of my eyes. I have this weird like darkness where it's like not straight like purple blue darkness, because it's got, anyway, you don't care. I'm going to take my BK109 and blend this out. On its own, this is a nice concealer. It's a medium coverage, so I personally like to mix this with a more fuller coverage concealer. If you like a medium coverage, then I think it is a nice concealer. It has a lovely finish to it. I wouldn't say it's like anything groundbreaking, but see, it looks lovely, right? Like very lightweight, very smoothing, really nice and high. I have dry under eyes, so it's like nicely hydrating on the under eye. I do think it's a good concealer. I think for me it's probably not overly wowing, just because I personally like a fuller coverage concealer, and also probably because I haven't found the ultimate shade for me, but I do wish it just had a touch more coverage to it. But it is really quite lovely. I think if you have oily under eyes as well, or find like you have under eyes that crease really easily, I'm not sure it would be for you. But if you have mature under eyes, I think, or really dry ones, I do think you probably quite like it. Because see, just even with the one layer, like it's done really well to like smooth everything out, and like it looks hydrated and healthy. And I can probably get away with this shade just matching this foundation quite well, to be honest with you, and with the two color correctors that I used. So I'm just actually going to do another layer just because it is a medium coverage. But again, if you don't have much to cover on the under eye, you'll probably quite like this, to be honest. It does have a lovely finish, I will say. It really does. I'm just going to use my Victoria Beckham Cream Contour Stick for contour, and then we'll move on to powder. That is the cream contour all blended out. Now I have the Haus Labs Bio Blurring Loose Powder. I have it in the shade Translucent, but it does darken my under eyes a little bit. So for my under eyes, I'm just going to quickly set it mixing my Bobbi Brown Yellow Vitamin Enriched with my Laura Mercier Brightening. I've just mixed these two because the Bobbi Brown is too deep on its own. So I'm just going to quickly set my under eyes with this. Under eyes are set. Now let's go ahead and use the Haus Labs powder on the rest of my face. So I'm just going to take my Hourglass Unveiled powder brush or whatever it's called. So I actually ripped the net out of mine, FYI, because the nets drive me nuts. And I quite like this powder. It's definitely a great powder if you have dry skin. If you have dry skin, I think you'll really, really like this. If you have overly oily skin, I'm not sure. If you have oily skin and you have this, let us know how you feel about it. Maybe Martina has it and can let us know in the comments, because yeah, it is quite hydrating. I mean, you can apply it quite a bit, I guess, and keep using it. I don't think it would, like, if you had oily skin, like, put it this way, sorry. I have combination skin and I find that it just keeps my face set, like, throughout the day. It's not as, like, long wearing of a powder, like, to keep your oils at bay as, like, the Laura Mercier, for example, or the Oma Beauty Trip and Smooth. But it is a really lovely powder. I actually really like using this powder in winter, especially when I do want to set my face, but I do want a little bit of extra hydration because it is a bit drier. So I love it for that. I just feel like it sets your face in a way that does blur it, but it's still just really, especially combined with the foundation, really makes your skin just look natural and skin-like and just still quite light, like it doesn't feel heavy or anything. So I actually really, really like this powder. I think it's really lovely. I'm going to quickly go off camera now and just do my brows. I'm just going to use my Danessa Myricks Defining Neutrals palette for that, and then we'll come back and keep going. Brows are all on. Let's take this shadow right here on a 14 mini from Rapha. And I have had a few of you guys, asking about when these brushes are going to be on the website. So I believe they sold out pretty quickly, and they will come back, I think, sometime in December, January, and they will also release them with singles. So I do recommend these, and I know it's annoying because you can't get a hold of them, but oh, they're so good. But also Rapha right now has 50% off all their Japanese made products. And they have got some really, really, really good deals because their supplier gave them an extra discount, and they pass that discount on to their customer. And it's, yeah, so if you are looking at buying brushes, now is the time. And then I'm just picking up a Rapha 3, and I'll go into the dark shade right here and just marry a little bit out here. Teensy bit. In a corner, I'm going to take a little bit of the Sunstone highlighter on my What's Up R109, just because that doesn't quite have an inner corner shade. I'm just going to put Cocoa from Victoria Beckham in the top waterline. And then for the lower waterline, I'll put the Haus Labs, I think this is Sage Matte eyeliner, and I love this color. Like, look, it's like this perfect minty color, and I love it so much, and it does not irritate my eyes. So I have really sensitive eyes, especially like if I'm gonna say work all day on a computer. The Victoria Beckham eyeliners, really, and the Lisa Eldridge ones have been the only ones that I can like wear on my waterlines, and it doesn't like irritate my eyes throughout the day on a computer especially. But this one doesn't do it either, just FYI. So I'm just gonna apply this down here. Labs doesn't have a mascara yet, so I'm just going to throw some of my Victoria Beckham Vast Lash on. Okay, Haus Labs bronzer. I have the shade 3, which is basically a light neutral. Her bronzer shade range is awesome. It has different undertones and it's quite expansive. I'm just going to take it on my Pat McGrath Labs bronzer brush. And the formula is kind of like, I don't know if you can see up close, but it's like a, kind of feels like the eyeshadows a little bit almost actually. It's like a gel, I think they describe it as like a gel to powder type formula, and it's gorgeous. I think this is one of the best bronzers, I have tried ever. I always recommend it like every time I recommend any bronzer, or like if there's a Sephora sale or anything like that, I always recommend this. I think it was in my best of 2022 last year, if it came out that year. Whatever year it came out, it was in my best of. I just think it's such a lovely formula. Like, see how it's so soft and blurring, but it's very buildable. So like if you tend to get heavy-handed or anything like that, or if you're in a rush in the morning, you just want to quickly go like this and not have to worry about it looking crazy, it's a great formula for that. And it just looks impeccable. Like, look at it. It's honestly one of my top 3 favorite bronzers in my collection. It really is. It's absolutely gorgeous. For highlight, let's use Sunstone, which I used for my inner corner, and this is like the same formula as, well, it's a little bit more powdery than the bronzer actually. I'm just going to take it on my Smashbox brush, and I haven't put any cream highlight down just so you can see the effect. This is also one of my top favorite highlighters in my collection, because it doesn't texturize at all, and you can really build this up. Like, see how natural that is? It's so beautiful, and you can really build it up. You can really sheer it out, like, and make it just a soft glow. Absolutely gorgeous. Great shade range. I really love this. Like, one of my top highlighters in my collection, truly. I just think she nailed her like core products. She really did. Okay, one product that I actually have not tried yet, so we're going to try it together, is this. This is the High Power Pigment Paint in Blush Matte, because you can use these, they're like multi-purpose, right? You can use them as an eyeshadow, a cream blush, a lip color, all of that jazz. And so I picked this up to try as a cream blush in particular, because look at that shade. Isn't that gorgeous? So I might just try it actually. I've never tried this, so I don't know how it's going to go. Oh, that shade is impeccable though. Wow. I might just try it with my sponge. I like to apply my cream blushes over powder if you're new here. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, that's nice. That's such a lovely shade. And that has not lifted anything. Okay. I'm happy so far. I really like this shade though. Ooh. That is so pretty. Oh my goodness, you guys, that is so pretty. I love that. I love that as a cream blush. Can't vouch for it in any other way, but as a cream blush, it looks so blurring and natural. I love that. And I could definitely build it up a lot more, but I just want to keep it quite, you know, soft and subtle. And I think it'll be really long wearing, because look at how hard it is to get off my skin. Nice. So for those of you as well with like oily skin, this will probably be really good. And I think even if you have dry skin, this will be really nice, because it's not drying or anything, and it doesn't look drying. It just looks beautiful. It looks so natural. Has anyone else tried those products? I have 2 blushes from Haus Labs. I have Pomelo Peach and Acai Sky. I'll use Pomelo Peach today because it'll go with the cream better. So this isn't a bad product. This is my Smashbox blush brush. I just find where the highlighter and the bronzer personally are like lovely and buildable, I find these to be like too pigmented for me straight off the bat. I like a buildable blush just because I can go a little bit heavy-handed. And so these blushes are lovely, and like they're a beautiful formula, just like her highlighter and her bronzer, but I just would like them to be a little bit more buildable personally. But I mean, if you're a deeper skin tone especially, they're going to be great for you, because they're going to show up on like every skin tone really, and they are lovely. Like, look, they do look very beautiful and natural on the skin. I'm just like, I just have to pay so much attention when I apply it, because they are so pigmented, and that's just a personal preference thing, but they are a lovely formula. Okay, I'm just going to use my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, and then we will do lips. I feel like everything has come together looking absolutely beautiful. I feel like my skin personally looks flawless. That cream blush has impressed me immensely. I don't think Haus Labs has lip liners yet. If they do, I have missed that memo. So I'm just going to take my Dior 100 Nude lip liner. And then I tried this lip product the other day for the first time in my like makeup that deserves more love in my collection video, and I fell in love with this. This is the Le Monster Lip Crayon in Blush Matte. I'll swatch it for you guys. So that's the swatch right there. I love this product. So it's like this lip crayon. I love a lip crayon because, I don't know, I find them so amusing and just amusing to put on. So I'm going to apply it. I gotta be honest, I fell in love with this product. I kept reapplying it throughout the day. It's such a lovely hydrating matte formula. It is matte, so I do have just a touch of like my lip wrinkles coming through, just a touch, but it's one of the most hydrating matte formulas I've ever worn, ever. And I just love it. Like, I love this shade. It was long lasting. It's such a beautiful product. Like, I genuinely want to pick up more shades of this lip product. It's really, really nice. Like, I picked it up because I knew I wanted to do this full face and I only had the lip oil, and so I was like, okay, I'll pick up a lip product. I did want to pick up the lip lacquer. I know I won't like that. And so I was like, I'll try this one, and I am blown away. It has really impressed me. So yeah, if you've been eyeing that off, I love it. And I am just going to top it a little bit with my lip oil again, because I do like a bit of a glossy lip. All right, let me go do hair and jewelry and we'll zoom out and wrap this up. All right, my friends, this is the finished makeup look. What do you guys think? I love it. I love how this look came together. I really do. I really, really like the Haus Labs brand as a whole. I think it is expensive. It's definitely, I would classify it as a luxury brand. Like, it is expensive. But I really do personally find, for me and my makeup aesthetic, that their products are such high quality, such a joy to use. I love them. Every time they bring something out, I'm just so impressed with it. So I do think if that is something that you are looking to try and dip your toes in, I really recommend it. I really do, especially if you vibe with my makeup style. I mean, everyone's value of a dollar is different. Everyone's makeup preferences are different, so only you can decide for yourself. But yeah, if you vibe with my makeup style, I think you'll like it as well. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Do you have many Haus Labs products in your own collection? Are you looking to try it? You know, what's your fave product, or what have you got your eye on? Let me know. I love chatting to you guys. And if you've made it to this point, you know you're an absolute legend. Thank you so, so much. I truly appreciate you. And I hope you have the most amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.